Hey, greetings everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Plan B Success. We have our new guest today, Kat McLead. She's been an entrepreneur throughout her life. 20 years ago, she was able to down pay about $450K for her home because of her business. And now she's back into business helping stay-at-home moms. So why don't we hear about her story directly from herself? Welcome, Kat.
Hi, thank you.
All right, great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I've always been an entrepreneur, like you said, and I actually started a men's fetish business when I was 22, and I generated multiple six figures in income a year, and I had that business for several years, and I really hated it at the end. I was really burned out. It was not my life's calling. So I actually got hired. So my only real adult job, I got hired by one of my clients who saw what a mini empire I ran and loved the way I did business. So he hired me to grow a division of his company. And to this day, it is the most successful division of his company.
Awesome.
And I did not really enjoy working for somebody else because I'm an entrepreneur. So I only did that for, I can't remember, it was about 6 to 8 months, and I did a lot in it. I did not enjoy having to be at an office at a certain time, having somebody to report to, just not being my own boss. So I wound up leaving that position and going back to graduate school to get my master's in psychology. While I was getting my master's in psychology, my second year project, I chose to help women transition out of the sex industry because I was in the sex industry for over 5 years, and I know how difficult it is to leave because people in the sex industry are used to making hundreds, if not thousands of dollars an hour. And it is very challenging to transition back into like a quote unquote normal job. So that's how I got started business coaching. I had to, on the fly, transition women from the sex industry into high profit businesses so that they could sustain their lifestyle or be able to support themselves without having to do something they no longer wanted to do if they ever wanted to in the first place.
So when was this? What period are we talking about?
So I started my fetish business at age 22, like you mentioned, and I entered graduate school at age 28. And I started coaching women out of the sex industry at age 29. I'm 42 now, so about 13 years ago, I started business coaching.
Okay. And then who do you coach now, and how's your business doing? What do you do now?
I help busy moms start businesses for fulfillment and income while staying mom first. So after I helped women transition out of the sex industry, I started opening up my business to other businesses and helped business coach. Then I married my wonderful husband. I settled down and I became a pampered stay-at-home mom. I thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom till my son was at least in middle school. And what really happened is as soon as I put him in preschool and I had time to myself for the first time in years, I was so restless, frustrated, bored, not using all my skills in my brain. So I wound up helping another fellow mom who felt crazy being at home start her own business. I did it for free and I did it for fun. And now that my son's transitioning into full-time school, I'm scaling my business. So I've been doing it very part-time for the last 5 years. And I developed my stay-at-home mom entrepreneur framework, which allows moms to start these fulfilling and amazing businesses while working 2 hours or less a day. I actually help my clients learn a hyper-focus model that I teach. And that is, I do a 30-minute hyper-focus model. It means for that 30 minutes a stretch, you do only what's going to move your business forward. So if you're on a scale map from like A to Z, you go, if you're on D to E, that's exactly what you do at that moment in time. And you just think about that when you're doing mundane tasks like the laundry or putting dishes away. What do I need to do to move my business forward? And I have that framework for them and a very step-by-step plan that I support them each step of the way to, so that we develop businesses that feel good really efficiently. And even better than that, I love the 15-15-15 hyper-focus model because that's 15 minutes. Well, you get more done. That's why I like it. But it's 15 minutes before the kids get up, 15 minutes at lunch or quiet time, and 15 minutes after they go to bed. And when you do like a 15-minute sprint, you get a lot of stuff done, especially if you have a very strong roadmap and support on exactly what you need to do.
Awesome. Can you talk us through a couple of examples, some of the women you've helped and what they've achieved?
Absolutely. So one of my clients named Mandy, she came to me after taking multiple online courses. She was trying to figure out if she wanted to do like project management, if she wanted to do coding, and she just didn't feel like there was a business that she could do for herself. So we actually looked at all of the skills. My superpower is helping people nail their right idea. I'm just amazing at finding the subset of a niche that's going to make the most money, because I had to do that when I started business coaching sex workers out of the sex industry. So for her, she had a hobby of making cakes, and she never thought she could turn this into a business, but she made the most beautiful cakes. So we worked together. We found the subset of her niche that was going to make her the most money, and that here in Los Angeles is gluten-free baking, and she makes the most delicious cakes. They taste incredible, and they're gluten-free, so there's a high market for it. She gets paid a premium amount for her cakes. They start at $300 and above. And when she caters parties, it can get into the thousands. And the cakes are so good that I actually ordered one for my son's last birthday. We're not even gluten-free. And it was so delicious that I literally ate it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for several days, if not an entire week. And I'm not exaggerating. So that's just an example. Another newer client of mine, she has a skill that easily translates to online. So she helps busy coaches do the automation so they streamline their back end so that they can spend more time making money serving their clients. Because as we know with busy coaches, there's so much back end like that we're juggling, and it can make us miss client tasks and stuff like that if we're focusing on automating the emails and getting the right funnel. It's just so much. So she does that, and she was easily able to get her first paying client within 3 weeks of us working together, when she had been struggling on her own for a year and a half because she didn't nail her niche right.
Okay.
And I just thought of another client, another newer client of mine. She just got signed her third client in 3 weeks of working together. She's a powerhouse. And again, before that, she had been struggling for months because she did not nail her niche. She was trying to generalize to everyone because she thought the more you generalize, even though people kept telling her to niche, she kept believing that if you generalize, then you can have more clients. And the opposite's true. I learned when I did my fetish business, and I didn't talk about how I wound up focusing on fetish, but I accidentally learned that you get rich when you niche. The riches are in the niches. So circling back to that, 22 years ago, I actually started as a dominatrix. I did not enjoy it, so I decided to do the parts of that fell under BDSM that I did enjoy. So I focused mainly on fetish and things that I found much more enjoyable. I did not like the full range of domination. I thought my clientele was completely going to go down with me, tightening up my services to what I would only offer. And instead, the opposite was true. My clientele went up. I got a way higher quality clientele. I over doubled my rates. So that's how I found out the tighter you niche, the more you're rich.
So let me ask you this. Some of the stay-at-home moms that you're helping right now, is this a coaching program for a certain period of time? And how do you keep engaged with the community?
Yes. I have a 4-month coaching program. It has our one-on-one calls because I customize my approach through my stay-at-home mom framework for each and every one of my clients. And I offer unlimited email support and messaging Monday through Friday.
Okay, awesome.
So I help them each step of the way.
So going back to, your life and, the way you've pivoted in your career from point to point, what would you consider the lowest point in your life that really triggered you to take off in a totally different tangent?
Okay, well, the lowest point in my life was definitely when I was doing the fetish business year after year, and I hated it. I really, truly hated it. It was just, I was making so much money. It was really challenging I did not know how to transition out of it. I was so used to making so much money in my adult life. I had never worked for less than hundreds of dollars an hour, or at least a minimum of over $100 an hour. And I did not, even with my college education, I wasn't going to make near that.
And now that you're helping so many stay-at-home moms, what do you think has been the high point in your life so far?
Oh, that's easy. Doing work that I feel proud of, that is meaningful, that is fulfilling, that I absolutely love, that I did do for free because I loved it so much. So it's amazing getting, making high profit, making money, doing something I absolutely love. And I run my own Facebook community where I offer tons of love and support and have helped many, many, many women get their first paying clients, launch businesses, just get the support they need, learn how to be visible, learn how to be confident, price themselves right, all of the elements of launching a successful business.
Do you have any big plans for the upcoming years?
For the next few years?
Yeah.
Yes, I plan on scaling my business. I'm going to offer a group coaching program, which will be my first group offer. I've only done one-on-one work up until now. And as I scale, I'm not going to be able to take all the one-on-one clients that I want to. So I'm going to offer a very intimate mastermind program where I'm still going to be extremely hands-on because I love working with people hands-on. And then I will be launching a do-it-yourself course so that I can help everybody in the population that wants to know that they can truly create their lives. What we didn't get into in this interview is that I came from an extremely abusive background. So I was beaten, threatened for my life. I was scared for my life while I was growing up. I did not feel safe. I did not feel loved. I was really screwed up, and that's how I started stripping, and then that led into the domination and my foray into the sex industry. And yet I have created a dream life for myself. I truly have an amazing life. I live in a beautiful home with the ocean, partial ocean view and mountain view, and I have a wonderful husband, and I have just created an amazing life for myself. So my mission is to help women specifically know that it does not matter where you came from, what your decisions were in the past, what you did in the past. If you were in the sex industry, if you did drugs, whatever it was, you create your life now. It is the truth. Once you truly decide, you create it. It is the truth. I am the perfect example of this, and I've helped numerous ones of my clients go from, we'll call it screwed up lives, to amazing lives now. I've seen it happen time and time again. And I just want anyone who's listening, who's in that dark place, to know that you can truly make a decision and turn your life to the way that you want it to be.
That's awesome. I'm sure your family and your mentees are very proud of what you have accomplished. Let me ask you a few questions. I do have a few questions that I'm just going to probably do like a rapid fire, and then you can give me an answer, whatever comes into your head. Okay? What are you most thankful for?
Oh, my family. I'm so thankful to be in a really loving family. I married an amazingly loving, supportive, successful, intelligent man, and I'm really grateful for that, especially concerning what an abusive father I had.
All right. What are you most scared of?
Not being as big as I could possibly be. Not letting all of what I have to offer shine. Being small, playing small. I intend to step into being as big as possible and lifting other women up around me.
That's a good one. That's what's going to drive your passion. What are you most happy about?
Living my beautiful dream life in coastal Southern California, going to the beach all the time, having wonderful friends. Again, my family, my healthy, vibrant, wonderful son. I'm living a good life.
And what do you look forward to?
I look forward to scaling my business, helping countless women, and achieving their dreams, achieving better lives for themselves and their family, just creating lives that they are really proud of and that feel really good about.
And what would you like your legacy to be?
That will be my legacy. My legacy will be letting people know, being the example of coming from deplorable conditions and not believing in yourself and making bad decisions all the way into a dream life of success, of feeling good, of loving life. That'll be my legacy, to help women decide that they can create this, not only for themselves, but for their families too, or just for themselves, because that just spills out to everyone, and that we deserve it and that we make it happen.
You have a very inspiring story. Have you ever considered writing it as a book?
I am open to that. I do have an inspiring story, and I'm totally open to that.
All right, great. You've gone through a lot in life. You've seen the ups and the downs and all that, and you've made a change for the better as you moved along from time to time. if I were to ask you maybe one or two things, the epiphanies or things where you improve yourself come when you're actually down in the dumps. That's when things happen and then you shoot up. So if I were to ask you one or two things, where you really, really felt that you were down there and needed to get up, what would you say?
When I was really, really down and I just decided I cannot do this anymore because it was just robbing my soul. I was going against what my soul wanted. And I reached out. I was vocal. I was honest about it. I even started telling my regular clients. That's the only reason that I got that opportunity, where my regular client, they noticed I wasn't as happy and I was honest about it. So I reached out to others. I was open to possibilities. A possibility showed itself in front of me and I said yes. I got a lot of help. So I said yes to that possibility. Separate, this answer number 2 is I got a lot of help. When I was feeling down and stuck, I went to therapy. I went to a lot of therapy. I got a mentor. Those are ways to help. If you're feeling down and stuck, then it's time to reach out. It's time to look at opportunities to get a mentor, to hire a coach, to have yourself have somebody support you.
Awesome.
That knows how. That's the key point. Somebody supports you that actually knows how to do that properly.
So if I were to ask you for a takeaway for our listeners, mostly entrepreneurs who are actually probably making the pivot or professionals too, what would be the one takeaway that you would want to give from your life lessons?
Well, the number one takeaway for entrepreneurial success is to decide that you are successful. It sounds simple and it is the truth. Decide I am successful. My business is successful, and make it happen. When you decide on success, not like I hope I'm going to be successful, I really want to be. No, I'm successful, then that will drive your consistent action. And consistent action is what makes a successful business. Even with my busy moms, with our busy mom schedule, that consistent action day after day on a very focused plan moves a business forward.
Awesome. You're so inspiring, Kat. It's been great talking to you, and I hope that you continue to inspire a lot more women out there with your story as well as with the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for jumping in today.
It was a pleasure.
Folks, I hope you liked what you heard. If you do like what you hear, please do subscribe and make sure that you spread the word, leave a review and a comment. Make sure that you spread the word so others may enjoy this content as well. Thank you.